Fulton, and as of the first of the year, I'm on the National Ability Board, which is the board that makes all of the decisions for our Amtrak therapeutic cycles. We make decisions on everything from pricing to the makeup, changing models of the cycle, and so on and so forth. So they have asked me to be the liaison between the disabled veterans in the United States that are coming back primarily from the Iraq and Afghanistan wars, with the goal of getting as many of the disabled vets that we can help, get them riding on our AMBUC therapeutic cycle. So they've officially given me a business card saying I'm the Vet Initiative Coordinator. So that's what the official title, I guess, is. We have probably for all but the past 3 years done primarily Amtrikes and for smaller kids, and we've gotten into the adult market probably in the last 3 years, and decided to get into, with so many vets that need therapy and recreation when they come back, figured that that's got to be a market that, as great a club as we are, we need to be involved with helping the disabled vet. The disabled vet from these wars are much different than Vietnam, where I served. Where more of them are surviving, and more of our disabled vets are returning home, but they're returning home with serious injuries, and they will need in their rehabilitation lots and lots of recreation. And also, I think a different, the vet and their caregivers of today, they're convinced that their disabled vet, their loved one, is going to live a high quality of life. And in order to do that, they must remain active. Where I think if you're an injured vet in prior wars, it might be sitting in front of a TV set not knowing what to do. But this is a far different, we're getting many more of the disabled vets coming home, and they're all were very active young men and women before they went overseas, and they want that active lifestyle. And AMBUC's certainly is our market. I mean, that is a big market for us. And AMBUC's, I really think once we get word out, and I'm able to network through the country and through the AMBUC organizations and the Veterans Association, and getting the VA on board at some point, I really think the demand is going to go through the roof in the next 2-3 years. So that, from a business standpoint, that's wonderful. And then it's a bit frightening because the way we're set up, we're not going to charge these vets anything for these cycles. So if we start giving away $500,000–600,000 worth of vet cycles, we got to raise that money. We got to find sponsors. We got to find vet groups. But you'd ask about the demand, and yes, the demand is going to be huge. The need is huge, and it will complement what AMBUCs are already doing. It's just a new market for us. I think AMBUCs, we are going to need to be a lot more creative in our fundraising efforts. We're always going to be looking for national corporate sponsors and foundations and grants, because I think we will be having our cycles, our vet cycles, needed in most all 50 states. So we've got to partner up with a lot of people. You know, there's such a tremendous love for the vet that's out there that it doesn't frighten me that I have to go out and hope I get a lot of people on board to help me fundraise where it's not all my job. But like I said, from the business standpoint, I think the demand and need is really going to go through the roof here in the next few years. Yes, and we're sort of taking baby steps now, but it will get a lot quicker. So we've done, we're getting ready to give away 20 in the morning, have 20 vets riding with a local bicycle club, doing a couple-mile stretch in downtown Memphis. And I think we'll get a lot of the AMBUC clubs to start doing rides, tying them in with 4th of July parades and Labor Day and Veterans Day kind of parades. And I tell people AMBUCs are in the smiles and hugs business. I think we see the same kinds of smiles and happiness with the mobility we're giving them. It may even be more so happiness with the vet when you think maybe for 8 years they've been in a wheelchair, never thinking that they would ever be able to get out of that wheelchair, and now they can just slide over from the wheelchair onto one of our adult vet cycles, start riding. That's pretty wonderful mobility and independence. So I don't know, it'd be an interesting question to ask a child's first ride on their bicycle or a vet's ride after he or she had been in a wheelchair for 7 or 8 years. They may be different kinds of emotions, but I promise you they're both thrilled to death and happy and have all of the emotions that you've seen. I mean, I have seen a lot of volunteer organizations over the years. I've never seen any volunteer organization with the emotion and the hard work. Other groups are fine, but they don't do the projects we do. And what you see at the conventions are really the movers and shakers, probably like you see at other service club conventions. And I tell people, you come out to some of our events, and the kids probably aren't having as much fun as their helpers, the AMBUC. And we just have a way of doing things that will just, people can't believe that we give stuff away, we raise money and give stuff away, and we rip the hearts out of people that they come and see an Amtrak giveaway or the vet ride in the morning, and they want to become AMBUCs. And then when we've had people that are recipients of our cycles just find it hard to believe that AMBUCs would raise money and give a complete stranger that has no ties to AMBUCs the mobility and independence of a cycle, that we would do that to. And it's just, I hear that over and over. I can't believe the stuff you do for my family and my child. And so it's pretty hard to not stay in an organization like that. They are shocked that there's an organization that you've usually never heard of in a lot of areas. Shocked at a group like that we would do this, that we have the spirit in this organization to give away all the cycles we do. Now what the parents are, all of the emotions the parents are seeing, they're not just seeing the smile on little Julie or Susie's face if we're giving away a small one. They'll now be able to ride with the family. So they have had anything you do with children with disabilities or people with disabilities, the important thing, because we've done some playgrounds and whatever, the important thing is you want to include everybody, the able-bodied and the disabled. You want them doing things together so that they don't feel that they're off to a side. So riding is something that can connect the disabled community and the able-bodied community where they can all ride together. So the mom and dad or the caregivers, they see that now they can go on family rides. And they never ever thought that once their child or once this vet had a crippling injury, they never ever thought that a bike ride would ever be in the cards. So then that poor child with disabilities is watching mom and dad and the 2 other kids ride off. What are you doing? Well, my little Joey, little Susie can't do the ride because they're disabled. So now you've given them, I think, a whole family and taken the disability away for a lot of them. And I think I mean, they are the family, and you'll see that tomorrow. They will not be able to find the words to thank all of the people that raised money, all the people that donated, and they'll be overcome with emotion, both at the child rodeo and the vet one. A lot of them won't be able to even they'll just be able to hug. There's that much emotion. And I just think they see it as we're now a whole family, at least in this particular case. Now, granted, they're back to their wheelchair or whatever, but that's one thing they can do as a family, and we sometimes overlook that.